Crafters. This is Georgia Lane with Creative Moments by G, and welcome to Fiesta Friday. We have a fun fold card using our Christmas Gleaming stamp set that we bought with Stampin' Up, and we created this fun fold card. Oh my gosh, it is so cute. You are going to have so much fun making it. So let's head over to the crafting table and let's get started. Okay, the fun fold card that we are making today uses Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly, that stamp set from Stampin' Up. And it is so pretty. The stamp set is $21, but you'll also want to get the coordinating colors. Those papers, oh my goodness, look at these papers. Can you see them? They have this gold metallic on it. Isn't that beautiful? And then of course we have our double-sided on the back. And you'll see us make a card later on using that. So you can go to my website, use this host code, and get a nice free gift from me. Let's get started with this fun fold. As you can see, we have a fun fold. We have the ornaments cut out just a little bit. You open it up, it says Merry Christmas, and then you get to put your note in there. Well, what do you need to do to make this card? First thing is you need to cut your base card 5.5 by 10 3/8, and then you're going to score it 2 inches and 6 1/4 so that we have this fold that we have. Then you're going to need a layering piece of the same color, and you're going to need 2 pieces of the Whisper White. And the inside Whisper White and the outside both are 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then this top piece here is going to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/2. Okay? So let's do the hard part first. Let's get our cutout that we need for this part. Now, what I would do first is you'll have the punch. And by the way, don't forget, if you buy the whole set and you buy the punch along with the stamp set, you get a 10% discount. But let's go ahead and let's put our paper in. Now watch this very carefully. You put your paper in and you have to put it past the end, and we only want it halfway in, okay? So you just kind of have to guide it. And you just want it halfway, about right there. Okay, see how it cut it out? Left a little bit there. That's the easy part. The hard part is this other ornament that we need to cut out. Now, it won't fit in all the way, right? You can't do it. So what I do is I put it in, making sure that I'm nowhere near that. Then we kind of flip that up. And it's going to be sideways just a little bit, but that's okay. And we punch it. And there we have it. Okay, look at that. Isn't that nice? The next thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and lay down our Whisper White paper. We know we're going to layer this beautiful blue paper on the Whisper White. So let's go ahead and do that. We want to make sure when we glue, we keep that silicone mat there, just in case we get glue outside it, right? Now we're going to just center it, and we have a little bit of time to wiggle it around if you need to. Perfect. And remember, this is going to go on this first flap. So let's go ahead and get that laid down. And the reason we did that is it just didn't look quite finished without having that little bit of white there. So that's why we have matted this top layer right here. There we have that. Next, we're going to put our Whisper White right in the center. A little bit goes a long way, right? And this just allows us to write our message. Okay. So we have it so far. Going to move our silicone. Now, to save some time, we went ahead and we cut out, we stamped these on Whisper White, and then we punched them out. And then we went ahead and we used our blends for the hollies, and we fussy cut those because we don't have a punch for those. Now, let's see how we do that. Well, first you have to see exactly where this ornament would lay, right? There we go, we have that. So, we're gonna lay it flat because the front part comes over, and if you put it on dimensionals, well, that wouldn't work, right? Your card wouldn't close. So go ahead and close this down and just lay your ornament in the negative space of where we punched it. And then we can open up. See, we're going to do the same thing to this small one. I'm going to put some wet glue because we need that time to wiggle it around just in case we need to. Okay, we're going to lay this part down and just put it in the negative space where we punched it out. Okay, so we can still close and open, right? There we go. And now we are going to glue down our hollies. Now what you need to do is remember your holly on this one's going to stick out. When you put it on the inside of the other one, you don't want it showing very much, so you kind of have to line it up. But let's lay this one down first. So we're going to put some glue on it. This just makes such a pretty card. Just love it. We're going to kind of put it right over the top part of the ornament, and always closing it to make sure that we can see exactly what we want to see. Now on this one, we know that we don't want to see much of it, but we also have a holly on the top part of it, the very top part of the card. So we know it needs to go like this. Just to make, yep, that's about right where we need it. I'm going to turn it just a little bit more. Okay, there we go, we have that. Now, on this front panel right here, we have a holly. We're going to put a holly right there as decoration. But we still need some more, right? So what we've done is we've taken one of the stamps from the stamp set. It's just a little, it's like a little scroll. We've taken that, and we're going to take our blueberry bushel. That's what we're using. And I'm just going to stamp it off and make sure we get a good stamp. Okay, good. And we are just going to stamp it right about there. And it doesn't matter that it will be behind the holly. That's okay. We just want to make sure that it just breaks it up a little bit, right? And stamp it. Okay. As you can see this, how pretty it is? Now wait until we put the holly. The holly will go kind of right in the middle, right there. And we are going to glue it down with some wet glue. Okay, just a little bit. Now we're going to close it to make sure we get it right in the right place, because you don't want to get any glue on your card. So we're going to put it right there. And that way, see how it goes over the scroll part? But it just adds something. You open it up, and now you have where you can write your message. But we want to put just a little decoration right there. So I'm going to go in the stamp set, and I'm going to get the holly, and I am going to stamp it with shaded spruce. And then we will color it. I'm going to stamp it off just to make sure it's good. Yep. And then we will color it with our 2 greens. We're going to show you how we blend. Oh, we just love these blends. So we are going to use, for our blends, we're going to use dark and light olive. And what we do is we just take the blending side, the big part of the blending tool, and we just simply go over the spines of the leaf. Okay. Now remember, these are alcohol markers, so you won't notice a difference possibly. Now we're going to use the light old olive. But when it dries, you will see the difference. You'll have some shading on the spines. Now we just go over in small little circles. And see, you can already see the shading on the leaves. Isn't that beautiful? Now for the cherries, we are going to take dark cherry cobbler and light cherry cobbler. Once again, we're going to use the big end. And right where it has that little dot, we're just going to put the dark cherry cobbler. Just a little bit. Just like that. Then we're going to come in with the light cherry cobbler and just use our circular motions. Circular motions. And like I said, you won't notice it right away. But once it dries, the light will lighten up and the dark will just be that little spot. See how cute that is? Now you can write your Christmas message. You have a fun fold. Isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. So, now we have one more little thing we have to do. We have to put our little Merry Christmas, right? Now we're going to use shaded, we are using our blueberry bushel for our message. And we are going to stamp it, and then I'm going to stamp it off just to see, make sure we get a good stamp. Oh yes. Let me tell you a little trick what I did to get that good clean stamp. The very first time I used this, I used the Versamark, which is typically an embossing ink, but it made it really sticky and able to accept the ink. So, and then you never have to do it again. So just that one time. So I'm going to stamp another one. Okay. So we have ours cut out. And we are going to use dimensionals for our message. I'm just going to put some right on there. We're going to use our poke tool to get the backing off. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? Now here's the one we made earlier. We didn't, on this one, we stamped after we put the holly, but I think it looks so much better to put your stamp first and then put the holly. And now you have a fun fold card. So pretty. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. I know this is a busy time for everyone this holiday season. I hope you go out and have a wonderful Christmas. See you in the next video.